Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here, back with another crypto video, and today we'll be covering 3 problems that the XRP price could face. Now, this is not going to be the only topic that we're going to be talking about today, and as you guys know, I'm an avid XRP holder. Love Ripple, love XRP and what they're doing, so this video is by no means negative, but as you guys know, in my news, I like to showcase all the sites that I can find, all the news that I can find to give you the best picture of what is going on with the coins you love the most. And today, that is going to be a little bit about 3 problems that the XP price could face next year. Also, alongside that, we have some news, some cool things coming up, so make sure you watch the whole video as it is going to be interesting. Now, before we get into any of that though, make sure you press the like button on this video because if we can get 299 likes within 24 hours, we're giving away $200 worth of crypto. All you have to do to enter is press the like button on this video, comment something down below, and make sure you have the notification bell on. So, let's not leave you waiting, let's get into the first article. 3 problems XRP price could face in 2020. Trust me guys, when I read this, I was not too happy. At first, I thought this was just going to be another bashing of XRP, another just FUD for the sake of creating FUD article by some XRP hater or somebody who has no faith in XRP. Was quite the contrary to a certain extent. I was amazed in a certain way, and I'm going to show you guys that as we move along the article here. Here's the rundown. Rise and fall of XRP, continued dumping, XRP price depression, and increased competition from CBDCs. Ripple says XRP is the 3rd largest crypto, but its massive supply and a number of other factors will continue to be at the root of its struggles as we enter a new year. So exactly there is where I cut off all my, oh, is this going to be a FUD article? Oh, is this going to be a this, that? Just because of this sort of title, sort of undertitle. Why? Because she stated, and I'm assuming that Christina Kuhlman here is the writer, she stated, but its massive supply and a number of other factors will continue to be at the root of its struggles. Now, I personally don't believe in that at all. I don't really see how a massive supply could have any factor on the struggles at all. I mean, why does the supply matter? The only thing that could matter about it is how it's divided, what's going on to the supply. But it doesn't really matter if it's massive or not, as really that does no difference. The price and the amount of coins depict or showcase the market cap. So, I'm kind of confused there. Like, what exactly was the point trying to make? I don't really know. And that's kind of where I was like, okay, I'm going to take this with a different attitude. If this is the way we're going to see everything, I don't really attach too much value to you anymore. So, the rise and fall of XRP. Just like another crypto, we had a crazy 2018, a crazy time back there, hit $3.98, whatever, but we lost like 90% of the total value. Although, it certainly does not signal the end for Chris Larson's creation. Interesting how they mentioned Chris Larson's creation, as, if you know what happened in the beginning, who founded XRP? I mean, you can kind of think Chris Larson from the start, but really the starters of this are most likely Jeb McCaleb, Arthur, and David Schwartz. At least that's the people who I see if you're really talking about the start. If you're talking about the Ripple start, yes, I'm really thinking of Chris Larson, but would definitely not show XRP, or would not say XRP is Chris Larson's creation like that. I would most likely say Jeb McCaleb's creation. That's most likely the term that people use. But according to Investing Haven, all the current bearish momentum surrounding Ripple's coin is actually a good sign. They dismiss it as traction in adoption and say that XRP holders can expect a bullish outcome before March 2020. So, a couple of points again to make is that bearish momentum surrounding the coin is actually a good sign. I don't really know. Well, no, I guess I can actually understand that both ways. So why I see that as a good thing, current bearish momentum, is because some people will always say the big guys are trying to buy in, all right, or the institutions are trying to keep those prices low. Those things can definitely be true, but this can be seen from a couple of sides. XRP holders will always say that this is a positive thing just because they can, get their average price lower, or keep buying it at a low price and get more for when the big runs are to come. So definitely from an XRP holder perspective, it's always positive. And as we expect from XRP holders, everybody will also state, we're expecting a bullish outcome before a date. And this date is always arbitrary. Some people are saying end of 2020. Some people are saying beginning of 2020. This person here says March 2020. This is from Investing Haven. There's tons of different theories, and as I just told you guys in my previous video, I do not attach value to it at all, just because I know those things are all over the place and you really don't know which one to trust. The more bearish the sentiment around XRP, the more bullish we are. Why? Well, because 1, there's traction in adoption, and 2, the chart pattern is a giant rounding formation similar to silver in 2002. Expect a bullish outcome before March of 2020. When is it invalid? See here, and there's a link to shameless plug to their own website. But personally, again, I don't attach too much value to the articles like this. It's just there for fun. You just check it out real quick, check the tweet out, and be happy. Move on with your day, but don't spend more than 3 minutes looking at that. Despite its staunchest supporters and analysts singing its praises on socials, XRP is likely to face a number of struggles next year, and here are the top 3. First of all, continued dumping. Of course, we all know what this is about. This is about Ripple selling 1 billion coins every single month. There's always going to be an issue about that. There's always going to be a back and forward about this. Second of all is the over-the-counter trading that goes on with this dumping. I'm assuming that's also what they're trying to say with all of this. And most likely, a third is Jeb McCaleb, the founder, one of the founders, who's always offloading on the market. That's according to their words. I think those 3 are the biggest dumpings that are going on. And here again, they're stating there are simply too many XRP tokens in circulation. Again, this is complete BS, as this does not matter whatsoever. Please, guys, don't let this fool you. The amount of coins in circulation have no effect whatsoever on the performance of the coin. On the price, definitely yes, but it's relative, the price. Because I mean, you could say, Bitcoin Cash here is way more expensive than XRP. Again, that's relative, because if you want to buy one of both, then yes, Bitcoin Cash is way more expensive than XRP. But again, you're getting the same amount of money for your money. If you want to buy $200 worth of Bitcoin Cash, you're going to get $200 worth. If you want to buy $200 worth of XRP, you're going to get $200 worth. Or as some kid in the comment section might say, if you're buying $200 worth of XRP, you're only getting $100 because XRP is going to go to 10 cents. I can already see that guy in the comment section. But, the point is quite clear that it doesn't really matter what the amount of coins are out there, because you're just going to get a relative same amount. It doesn't really matter at all. Market cap is just price times amount of coins. So I really don't know how to I'm hoping you guys will understand it, though, that the amount of coins really matters for nothing. The only thing you could state, right, is that these coins in circulation are owned by the wrong people or are too centralized. Things like that I can understand. But this other part, this causes it to hemorrhage value through ongoing giveaways and oversupply. Don't get where that is coming from at all. No idea at all, but okay. And on top of that, there are still more than 200 more monthly tranches of over 220 million XRP tokens to be released by Ripple, just waiting to be dumped. That's the big discussion that we're not going to get into today. Second reason, again, according to them, that XRP is going to go down in 2020 is XRP price depression. With investor confidence waning amid continued dumping, as well as XRP at a 2-year low and dropping down 60% in 2 days, it's hard to see any signs of bullish support right now. So, again, this is the possibly newbie trader, possibly advanced trader. This could be either or both. Why? Because here they're just saying, all right, we're going with the flow. We're going with the trend. The trend has just been we're going down lower and lower and lower. Right now we're at a 2-year low point, so there's no real signs of us changing directions. And there's the other avid traders going to say, like, all right, we've been going down for 2 years, so it's definitely time for another big increase any time right now. You can see from both sides, none is necessarily wrong. And yeah, I mean, some will be of the bullish prediction, like, for example, they stayed here by Investing Haven, like we saw here. And some are going to be completely the opposite side, saying, we've been going down for so long, why would we go up right now? XP is going to go to ascend. It's both sides. But yeah, a reason they're saying here is that we've been so depressed in price that there's no real bullish support waiting for us right now to where we can pick up from and just start mooning. There's no real place where we can fall that is not going to just be fragile. At least that's what I think they're trying to state. There may be a large enough use case for XRP moving forward for it to thrive, but it's going to have to corner the market fast over the next 12 months. Don't again know exactly where this time frame comes from, but this first part I definitely agree with. Third is increased competition from CBDCs. It states, if XRP is going to prove its worth to the world, it's going to have to do it soon, as 2020 is already lining up to be the year of the race of sovereign digital currencies and bank-issued stablecoins. Definitely did not know that that was the abbreviation, but I do get it. I do get where that comes from. You know, we saw last year that there were a couple coming up. JP Morgan, I mean, Libra was trying to get in there, and there's going to be tons of those who are going to be popping up in 2020. I mean, China, India, they could all, start to fiddle around with their own coins. Maybe Korea, maybe Japan. Who knows what countries are going to be doing it, or who knows what big institutions, banks, or companies are going to be doing it. And from a certain perspective, what Ripple is doing through XRP can definitely be done through stable coins as well. The only question is, why would you do it through a stable coin? Like, what's the point in that case? But there is opportunities for it, at least for XRapid then. There is a couple of opportunities for it, so you can definitely see this one as a little bit of a threat. The only problem is these guys, these CBDCs, are so many years behind what Ripple's doing right now. And Ripple's always increasing. Ripple's always bettering themselves as well every single day as we go forward. So, it's a competition. It's going to be a competition. And Ripple's a couple of years ahead of them right now, ahead of the competition. And that's, again, where I think they thrive a little bit right now, that they're just on top of their game. And, it's looking pretty good, pretty juicy. Here they're stating, with corporations like Facebook and bank like JP Morgan all throwing their hats in the ring too, XP is going to have to fight tooth and nail to stay relevant at the cross-border payment solutions in 2020. Yeah, there's a couple of theories, but again, let's not get too much into that as we just don't know exactly what the result's going to be. XP is going to do its best to stay on top, but I think we'll still have to see. Here's a little cool video from Brad Garlinghouse. We've seen this before from the Singapore FinTech Festival from a little while ago, actually quite a while ago. But it's a fun little video, and I wanted to showcase it, so let's quickly check it out.
You want to take one? Go for it. The first one's for you. IMF. Do you see IMF holding crypto assets in the future? I did not put that up there.
Remember, I'm from the legal department. I'm supposed to be very conservative about these things. I don't want to go into great details about
Maybe I should take what the IMF is going to do.
That was, again, pretty interesting. And Jack the Rippler says here, see the big picture and not the current price. Again, that's a good point to make, just to keep enthusiasm up a little bit and to, again, show us what we're all doing it for. Michael Del Castillo says on Twitter, after much help from XP community, it appears 100 billion XP were created between the winter equinox of 2018, which happens to be the end of the Mayan calendar, if you remember the apocalypse memes, and Christmas. I'd still love an exact birthday if anyone has other info. Thanks. And David Schwartz actually replied in saying, there's been so many questions, let me clear up what happened. So he says he worked with Arturo Brito and Jim McCallop in 2011 and started to create the XP Ledger. His personal first commit was November 2011. A little bit later, Arthur created the code that started the 100 billion XNS, which it was coined at that point, on June 2nd, and that was actually officially the birthday of XRP. After this, or at least you can, if you're going to look it up, you're going to see a code push, but was obviously used. And GitHub history shows that many times we contributed and executed every day, yada, yada, yada. By June 2020, the XP Ledger was live and transacting. We were still madly squashing bugs, as these were the early days. We reset the ledger sequence multiple times for binary format changes, and transaction history was erased. This does not mean that the 100 billion XP was recreated each time. Huzzah, the XP Ledger version that we know and love today began in December 2012, but unfortunately the first week worth of data, ledgers 1 through 32,569 were lost, but people like Silkier have been researching it. And that's actually the point what I tried to make here, with showcasing guys this. First of all, the birth date of XRP, which is pretty cool. And second of all, that people like Silkier, who is a hobby big data explorer, I'm going to give him a follow for that, is actually still trying to find out, if those things can be found again. I don't really know exactly how it got lost or how it can be found again. Also, not going to bother to check too much into it, but it's pretty interesting that some people are going to take their own time to look into this type of stuff. I think that's really interesting and really admirable. Last of the whole sequence was, or the series was, today over 50 million ledgers have been confirmed, and thread is what I meant, and XRP is traded on 130 plus exchanges, onwards and upwards. Pretty amazing. Guys, that was it for this video though. Hopefully you all enjoy. Did you see any problems for XRP in the 2020? I don't really think so. I don't see those points as too valid. The only thing that we can kind of see as a problem is that there's going to be more and more competition as we move along with time. But hey, which project doesn't have competition, right? And competition is definitely not necessarily, or not by definition, a bad thing. Guys, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys again in another crypto video. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you press the like button, make sure you comment down below which coin you'd like to see next, and I'll see you guys again in another crypto video. Take care.